green flag goes in the air. It's 18 rows of 2 for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series.
There's a moment in time where I don't know what to do with myself.
They're dancing on the edge of the blade here at Daytona.
From November to February,
I think about this night.
It's getting better and better as they come into turn 3 and 4.
You see the replay, you won't believe it.
when the green flag drops, there's only one thing on my mind.
Here comes Mike Walsh into me.
Victory.
Dicing, dancing, it's going to be Carl Edwards winning.
At NASCAR's most prestigious track.
Crawford goes down low, he tries to make it fast, and Crawford wins the Daytona 250.
Daytona International Speedway.
3 wide. High banks.
Nobody giving an inch, about 15 trucks in that draft right now.
The wait is over. The time is here.
Friendship's getting fickle here. Still anybody's guess who'll win it.
The season starts now.
Daytona Beach, Florida, Daytona International Speedway for the first event of the 2007 season. Welcome to the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series Chevy Silverado HD 250. Saw earlier a couple of our pit guys down there on pit road, and it was chilly. They were wearing stocking caps. 48 degrees right now, and the temperature is projected to go down. Hello, everyone. I'm Rick Allen alongside of Phil Parsons and Michael Waltrip. Now, when you talk about restrictor plate or restricted plate racing at Daytona, you've always got to have some friends. Now, do you think we'll see some sort of manufacturing friends out there, Phil?
Rick, I saw Jack Sprague and Todd Bodine talking about trying to get together, along with Ted Musgrave, all in Toyotas. Because we know that Roush's 3 drivers, Carl Edwards, Travis Kvapil, and Eric Darnell, are going to work together. And you throw in a couple other Fords like Rick Crawford and David Starr, and then you got a bunch of Fords, so it may be a Toyota Ford battle.
Well, I've won the Daytona 500 a couple of times, and we never had a plan. You cannot manufacture friends, nor can you manufacture a plan. It has to come to you. One of your buddies gets in a crash, what are you going to do now? You have to adapt. You have to be nimble. You have to use everybody out there to get to the finish.
Well, it's going to be teammates and possibly manufacturers working together. We'll see if they can work their way up to the front. But first, let's go down trackside for today's ceremonies.
Rise and remove your hats as the Embry-Riddle Joint Services Color Guard presents our nation's colors. Please remain standing for a moment of silence in remembrance of the recent tornado victims of Central Florida. Please welcome Reverend Don Epps, Seabreeze United Church of Christ, as he delivers tonight's invocation.
Let us pray. Loving God, we give you thanks for this beautiful night, and we ask that you would bless these race drivers and crews, give them your protective shelter during this time. Fill us all with the joy of racing. We ask it in the Savior's name. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Chevrolet spokesperson and recording artist Jolie Holiday as she performs tonight's national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet
cheer for Jolie Halliday.
Great crowd on hand. The fireworks before the race. Well, there's going to be fireworks once the race begins as well. We'll see it all when we come back to Daytona International Speedway. The NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series on Speed is presented by Chevrolet, an American Revolution. Brought to you in part by the official tools of NASCAR, Craftsman, and by Fastenal. We get it right. Welcome back to the Mecca of Motorsports, World Center of Racing, Daytona International Speedway. And that right there looks huge, Phil.
It is huge. 2.5 miles. Front stretch 38 feet, 300 feet long. 31 degrees banking in the turns. The trial oval is actually a corner. This is a trial right here. It's 18 degrees. These trucks in a good, tight, fast draft will get up to about 194 miles an hour as they enter turn number 1 here. Only down to about 186 miles an hour as they go through the center of the corner. They don't lose much speed at all. You might want to see these trucks running on the bottom. They're going to be in the middle. They're going to be on the high side, and they're going to be 3 wide at the same time, Mikey.
But, Phil, they're driving trucks. Can you imagine that? As a kid, I never thought about racing a truck. These guys are racing trucks at Daytona, and they're going to race them 3 and 4 wide. And the draft, the way these trucks will suck up on one another, look at there at the AES truck, driving right back up on the back of the chase truck. They think they've got it made. But no, there goes the guy on the inside, right back by him. You can't figure out how the draft works.
And look how those trucks are jumping around. They're going to have that all night long.
Ooh, makes it so much fun to watch.
That completes a lap around this 2.5-mile super speedway. 36 trucks will be starting this one. 200 miles, 250 miles, 100 laps.
See that purse, over $800,000, the biggest purse of the year for the Craftsman Truck Series.
And these cats will look at that pit window, Phil, 35 to 40 laps, and they'll be trying to figure out when's the last time they can stop. Can they stop at lap 60 and get to the finish? You want to stay off pit road late in the race to get that track position.
All the drivers have climbed into the trucks. The teams are getting ready for the first event of 2007, the Chevy Silverado HD 250. Before we get the race started, we got to start the engines. Let's go for the command.
General Manager Ed Pieper as he delivers those most famous words in motorsports.
Gentlemen, start your engines!
Engines are fired up. Who will drive to the front? Will they have drafting help? That will definitely help around this 2.5-mile super speedway. We will see the green flag when we return. Welcome back to the World Center of Racing, Daytona International Speedway. The Chevy Silverado HD 250 on speed. How will they start for the first race of the season? Well, Jack Sprague has claimed his 30th Bud pole in his 248 start. He's only 2 poles behind series leading Mike Skinner at 32. He will start on the pole, and on his outside, it is Carl Edwards, a former winner at this racetrack. That's going to roll right along the bottom of the screen. And while that goes along there, let's spotlight a few different drivers in this race. One of those being the 63 of Jason White. Jason White out of the Richmond, Virginia area. And Jason White will be driving the 63. And that truck, a familiar name behind it as far as owner, Midler Brothers Racing. They actually were the ones who I guess you would call discovered Carl Edwards. So the possibility exists now for Jason White to be discovered in the Truck Series.
Rick, let's take a look at Derek Cope. He's going to drive the Hooters Energy Drink number 7. Our 1990 Daytona 500 winner, Derek Cope, a 2-time Nextel Cup winner. He had such a great run going in our Truck Series race at Talladega. It was in the top 5 on the very last lap. Had a very, very hard wreck. And great to see that he got out of that truck okay, but a good run for him. Mikey, who are you going to look at?
I'm going to look at Cale Gale, but I like Derek's truck. That's a good-looking ride. But look at Cale Gale, number 2. Was Cale destined to be a race car driver, Phil? Yes. His parents named him after Cale Yarborough. In only his 2nd career start in the ARCA Series, he got his first win. Tonight he starts 14th in Kevin Harvick's Camping World Chevrolet. A fast truck with a fast driver on the way to stardom.
Let's take a look at A.J. Allmendinger. That's the Red Bull Toyota out of the Darrell Waltrip Motorsports stable. Talk about promise. This guy has it. In his second ever Truck Series race last year at Talladega, he finished in the top 5. A 5-time winner last year in the Champ Car Series. Going to run full-time this year for the Red Bull Toyota team in the Nextel Cup, and can run a handful of races in this number 00 Toyota for Darrell Waltrip.
That's your speed spotlight. We'll take a look at a few different drivers at the beginning of each race. And this week we looked at some of the ones we think will potentially be stars of the future. We'll be back with the start after this.
The infield, this is pageantry, Rick. This is what you live for. Seeing a race with this much emotion and this much excitement attached to it.
You know, we caught a glimpse of the 59 of Terry Cook. He had to go to the back. He overheated during qualifying, so they had to put more water in that truck. There he is right there. Had a great qualifying effort. Terry qualified way up there in the 7th position, so he's going to have to give that up, but he'll make his way back to the front. Hey guys, you know, when we get this race started, we always have the crawl running at the top with a rundown. Wait till we see that. It looks pretty cool too.
And Terry Cook couldn't care less. He had to go to the back. In fact, he's probably saying, well, maybe I'll just hang here for a little bit and see what these cats up front do. This is going to be crazy stuff. My brother says boogity, boogity, boogity. I tried to do she-bang, she-bang, she-bang.
Didn't go over all that
well. I mean, I could not get anybody to buy into it. I loved
something
it.
Else?
Have you been working on it?
No.
Okay,
good.
I was going to say.
Good.
But I just want to remind the people at home, that's him that says boogity, boogity, not me. I don't want to hear it.
Well, the pace truck has made its way on to pit road. That means the field is in the hands of Jack Sprague as we get ready to kick off the 2007 season from Daytona.
Might be a bit of a goofball field, but man, that does it for me right there. Hearing those trucks come up to full speed and watching them jockey for position, this is what racing is all about. These guys are going to do crazy things tonight.
I'm telling you, there's nothing like watching the start of a race at Daytona. It is unbelievable. You know, Jack Sprague, we talked about in the open about the Toyotas talking about getting together. Jack says, I really want to get the jump on that outside guy and get going, and Todd's going to push me.
How much you want to bet Mike Skinner wants to lead the first lap? And then everyone right after that. and he got a push there from Quapple. Quapple acted like he was going to go with him, got him up top, and then pulled back into the line. So Mike got tricked there a little bit.
We're already 3 wide. Right there, we've got Mike Wallace. That's the DirecTV Hot Pass Chevrolet, the 46. That's Stacy Compton in that 16 truck, and that's a Ford this year.
Oh, we got a crash already, Phil.
Problems coming across the trial.
Oh, it's
Mike Wallace. Wallace with a lot of damage to the front of that truck.
That DirecTV Hot Pass truck's torn up, Rick. He's done for tonight. I would have said he would be one of the favorites to win tonight, Phil, and made 1 lap.
Absolutely.
I did something wrong. I'm not sure there.
Said something wrong. Something may have broken on that truck. What a horrible break. That's a second Morgan Dollar truck. Teammate to Craig Kinzer.
Now, for you folks at home, he doesn't mean something's wrong now. He knows that.
No,
what he's
I'm
saying
sorry.
is,
I thought
he's saying something went wrong to cause this crash. See if we can figure it out. Oh, I see what went wrong.
He got hooked in the right rear by. Was that Joey Clanton maybe in the 09?
Yeah, but it wasn't Joey's fault. Mike, it looked like to me, tried to move up to the outside lane, and Joey was there. Let's see if that's the case. 09, Joey Clanton. You see the yellow truck, and Mike just decides he's going to go around the outside of Hornaday. Gets hooked by the 09, but Mike was the one changing lanes, Phil.
Yeah, as you could see, he was not right in line with the 33 of Ron Hornaday as he moved up the racetrack. Joey Clanton absolutely did nothing wrong.
Nothing at all.
A lot of guys right behind him did some nice work to avoid Mike, and Mike did a good job after that truck went back up on the racetrack. Take another look.
How many times do you see a guy crash in the middle of the field and nobody hit him? That's a great job by all those other trucks.
I mean, on the second lap of the race, but look what a good job Mike does getting control of that truck once it slides back up on the racetrack.
That just shows you how tough this job is, Phil. That's a guy right there we thought could win the race, runs 1 lap, makes a mistake, he's out.
First caution of the night.
What happened, Mike Wallace decided to change lanes, but unfortunately there was someone in the lane that he tried to get into, and it turned him right into the wall, and that DirecTV Hot Pass Chevy. We wanted to talk about that a lot tonight, Rick, because I'm going to be one of the cars on the DirecTV Hot Pass on Sunday. That's going to be a fun deal. People are going to get to ride along and see what it's like to race the Daytona 500.
You actually get to talk to them.
Yeah.
You can talk right to the fans.
I'm gonna.
Let's see if we can
talking to people.
Let's see if we can talk to Carl right quick, getting ready for a restart. Hey, Carl, Phil Parsons, right, getting ready for this restart real quickly now. You had a great qualifying effort. Mikey up here has picked you to win this thing. He's a little bit concerned about your start.
Hey, it broke up a little bit there, but yeah, the first start wasn't that great. I don't think we just didn't get going like we wanted to, but we'll be all right. We're going to get back up there, and this man got a smile on my face. I don't know if you can see it, but having a good time.
Good to have you back in the Truck Series. Get ready for this restart.
Thanks, buddy.
Carl Edwards carrying one of the onboards. You saw him try to smile at us.
You know what's great about this deal, Phil? We talked about Cale Gale. You know, 2 starts or 3 starts, just getting going. He started 14th or 15th. He's already passed Carl Edwards. Carl Edwards was favored to win the race. You never know.
And it's not over yet. We're going to see Carl Edwards back at the front here very soon.
Green flag back out at Daytona. Jack Sprague still holding on to the top spot. We've completed 6 laps of racing. Lap 7 of 100, again 250 miles.
And then another suspect start by Carl Edwards. Tyler Walker, a couple of trucks drive right under Carl. He's losing spots right now too, Phil.
You know, all these trucks are mandated what 3rd gear they have to have in their transmission. They have an option on 2nd gear, and that may be Carl's problem, the 2nd gear, which is typically the gear that you restart in.
You see the 6 truck there. They came to Daytona without a sponsor. Now they've got K&N air filters on that baby. Bunch of flames on it. Sparks flying. This is racing on a Friday night.
You know, we talked about the Toyotas ganging up, the Fords ganging up. We've got Toyotas on the inside, Fords on the outside.
And here comes 2 more Toyotas from behind. Toyota and a Ford.
Yeah, that's Rick Crawford, the 14.
We got Fords and Toyotas everywhere, Phil.
We've got them everywhere, but we will see some Chevrolets and some Dodges up front before this night's over.
Well, Chevrolet certainly hopes so. This is a Silverado HD 250, so, you know, they're betting that the Chevys are going to get to the front. They certainly were disappointed in qualifying. We'll see if they can battle their way to the front during the race.
Just to let you know, Mike Wallace has been checked and released from the infield care center after that first lap accident. Adam Alexander.
Well, you guys were talking earlier about Carl Edwards and him dropping back just a bit. One of the things I wanted to point out that he said on the radio that we may keep an eye on, he said, remind me throughout the evening to check my temperature gauges. He said there's a lot of debris blowing around on the racetrack that you get on the front of this race truck, and that could cause the vehicle to overheat. So he said, remind me throughout the evening to check the temperatures. Phil, Michael, you're familiar with what that can be like.
Well, Adam, it sure is. And, you know, we have these tear-offs on these windshields now. They actually have, we got a lead change. Todd Bodine, the 30 Toyota Lumber Liquidators, goes for the lead. Leaves Jack Sprague on the bottom of the racetrack.
And Jack and Mike Skinner right behind him. Todd might think that's his friend, pushed him to the lead. He's going to try to grab the front right now. He'll try to pass Todd Bodine before they get back over here, I bet.
Yeah, we looked at this earlier, and I was noticing there's some smoke coming out of the 50 here. This definitely could be a bad news for the 50 of Carl Edwards.
Absolutely. He seems to be up to speed, but there's definitely some smoke. He's right on the rear tailgate of the 9 of Ted Musgrave.
Now here in Daytona, NASCAR won't stand for much of that. They'll black flag that truck in a hurry. It looks like an oil leak, Phil. Maybe something's not tight with the motor, the oil lines, or transmission.
Inside's covered here, 2x2.
You can hear the team trying to discuss with him what it might be. He says everything looks in trouble.
Got just a little bit of smell like gear oil, but not bad.
Derek Cope got on the inside in that number 7 Hooters truck, and as soon as he went down on the inside, the yellow flag came out.
That's a good break right there for Carl Edwards. We heard him say that maybe smells a little bit like some gear oil, so that obviously he's going to bring that truck down on pit road. Matt Pusher is going to take a look at that thing.
Well, you know, it's a great break for Carl Edwards, but did you see Derek?
What I thought he crashed.
I mean, how do you get in that kind of a bind and not wipe out? Let's watch the 7 truck. Center of your screen, lets up because Hornaday's there, bumps into Brendan Gaughan on the outside, and he crashes, but he never hits anything.
Kenny Schrader just skirts by on the right side of Derek Cope, maybe even made a little bit of contact.
That was just a bad set of circumstances, Rick. He was on the inside of another truck. The truck ahead of him let off. When he backed off, the truck on the outside of him, and he bumped, and there was nothing he could do. He was a victim of circumstances.
Going to get a good view. This is the Fastenal Dodger, Kenny Schrader. Watch that Hooters energy drink right in front of me. See him make contact.
Little brake check there.
Whoa, what a job by Ken Schrader.
Hold your line right there.
I love the spotters. Just a little brake check. Kenny's running 185 mile an hour, and a truck spinning in front of him, and the spotter's saying, it's no big deal, just a brake check, buddy.
Adam Alexander, what's going on with Carl?
Well, they think it's a transmission issue. In fact, someone just said on the radio, it's broke. They've put the jack underneath the truck, as you can see on your screen. Matt Pugh should tell them to get the flashlight ready so they can see what's leaking underneath, but they do believe it's the transmission. Carl Edwards in the truck trying to relay exactly what the problem may be, but the smoke billowing off of this machine, it appears to be a transmission issue and perhaps an early exit for Carl Edwards tonight here at Daytona.
What a horrible break for Carl Edwards, and that may have had something to do with his initial start of the race and the restart.
So a guy who we thought might win the race, Mike Wallace, out, and now it looks like Carl Edwards could be out as well from Daytona.
Inslee and the entire crew.
You just got to do what's right, you know, and that was the right thing to do.
Well, we've completed 15 laps, and I don't think very few, if any, actually took tires that time. Is that a strategy, or is that just because we don't get a lot of tires in this series?
Well, these trucks only run about 35 laps on fuel, and I think the biggest reason they wanted to get fuel is because they were well over a third of their way towards a pit stop. They wanted to make sure they had enough fuel. They have, each team, they got an extra set of tires for this weekend, so they have 5 sets of tires when they started. Most of the teams have 4 sets of tires. Obviously, they start the race on one of those sets. They should all have about 3 sets of tires in the pits, so they have enough tires to put on. They just didn't feel like they needed them.
And plus, with the real cool conditions tonight, Phil, and these hard tires, they'll not need tires as often as normal in a race like Daytona. The tires have a lot of tread on them. They're hard, and the temperatures are cool, so they'll stick all the way through a gas stop at least, Phil.
Got a little move to the outside. Got a side-by-side battle for second right there. Travis Quapple trying to make his way towards the front.
2 distinct lines now as they go down the back stretch. Mike Skinner on the inside. He's got help from the 14 of Rick Crawford. We're riding along with Todd Bodine. He's going to push that K&N Ford toward the front. That's Travis Quapple making his way to the point.
So we have a Toyota of Todd Bodine pushing a Ford of Travis Quapple. On the inside, we have Mike Skinner and a Ford in a Toyota and a Ford of Rick Crawford pushing him. That's so much for the manufacturer's thing.
That's why he plans. Don't make any plans, just race.
Here comes Todd Bodine on the outside. He'll take the point now. Takes away the top spot. This is truck racing at Daytona.
And he has a teammate behind him. There's Ted Musgrave. Remember, these 2 drivers finished 2nd and 3rd last year in this race to Mark Martin.
Now, I don't understand why they're in such a hurry. Everybody wants to, like, they just want to argue over.
It's racing, Michael. What do you mean why they're in such a hurry?
But why are they always going to have to, why they have to all pass each other right now? Shouldn't they just?
Because you guys don't like to follow anyone.
Shouldn't they just work it out for a while?
I don't know if I've ever driven with anyone with less patience of being behind someone than a race car driver.
Well, this is a big pack racing for the lead. There's about 20 of them side by side, Phil.
Look at that green truck on the outside. They're running about 5th or 6th right now. That's Tyler Walker. His first start in Daytona in a truck and doing a great job.
Toyota running very strong on the outside and obviously feeling his way around this racetrack. His first time at Daytona in a truck. Riding along with Ted Musgrave in that Team ASC Toyota Tundra, and he's going to get a little help now from Travis Quapple.
Remember, we don't want to do a whole lot of bump drafting with these trucks. The front bumpers are so much lower than the rear bumpers. A lot of times we've seen these trucks doing a little bump drafting, and it lifts the rear wheels off the ground from the truck in front.
Ted running up the hill a little bit, and here comes Travis down on the bottom. Decided he would say, well, if you're going to go up, I'm going to go down and take the lead from you, buddy.
Here comes Jack Sprague, our pole sitter. He gets back up in this fight. He's up in 2nd right now.
Jack Sprague's going to take his shot at the front. He led this one from the start. Ray, what are they talking about in that team?
Well, Sprague said a little while ago that he got down right on the edge of the apron and the truck got really loose. He said, I don't have any idea what happened there. This truck hasn't been loose all weekend, but he just got that wheel down on the inside and it got real loose on him. Now Sprague is going to go to the high side and try that line. Adam?
Well, Tyler Walker having a solid run here tonight, Ray, and one of the things he's been talking about on the radio as he makes his first Truck Series start here at Daytona is how crazy the racing is on the racetrack. He had some issues during testing, blowing a left rear tire, took a wild ride one Saturday afternoon here during testing. It hasn't been that wild tonight, but he is very much impressed with how crazy things are on the racetrack. He's one of those guys running for Ray Best's Rookie of the Year in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series.
Did you see that? Todd Bodine just moved Kelly Byers almost off the racetrack in the 21 there. Now, Todd Bodine must be having trouble seeing guys on his inside.
I have to wake his spotter up and say, dude, there's somebody underneath you. Look at that truck running in the 4th spot, Rick. That's Chase Miller in that 4 truck.
That's a Dodge, too. Only 2 Dodges in the field. That's Ken Schrader's teammate right there.
Isn't it good to see that truck up front? That kid always winds up at the front.
Sure does.
He's had a little bit of trouble staying there.
2 and 3 wide. Taking a look from the Goodyear blimp there.
Look at
great
the hood.
shot. Oh, look at the problems here with the 09.
That's Joey Clanton.
They're not going to wait for that to get any worse, I'm guessing.
They have 4 pins holding that hood down. Obviously, the right front pin has come loose, and it actually bent that hood. NASCAR's going to take a good, close look at that. And if they feel that's a dangerous situation, they will bring him in. And we're hearing that they are going to black flag the 09 and make him fix that.
And what a great run for Joey Clanton. He's running right up there with the top dogs. There's the 2 guys in 2 fast Toyotas, and Joey Clanton's right on them. But he's going to have to come to pit road, Phil.
He sure is going to be a horrible break now, because probably by the time they repair that, he gets back on the racetrack, goes all the way down to pit road speed. He probably will lose a lap. But we've got the lucky dog here, and he's obviously got a very fast truck.
You got to like the way that truck handles. He drove around 2 or 3 guys on the outside. You don't see that very often.
He's going to get the black flag again, this time by. Now he has to adhere to this. I mean, he will have to come down pit road, or they'll stop scoring him.
You know, we talked a few moments ago, a couple laps ago, about the 30 pushing the 21. Watch the 30 right there. There's the 00 of A.J. Allmendinger going by. You see the 21 of Kelly Byers coming. The 30 just says, I'm going to get behind that 00. You're going to have to get out of my way.
Hey, see, that's one thing I wish we would see happen. We haven't seen NASCAR black flag anyone for forcing someone under the yellow line. It's always been for going under the yellow line. That was a situation there where Kelly Byers minded his own business, and Todd pushed him down there. Kelly gave him a break by letting off, but still, even though the guy gives you a break by letting off, as Hornaday decides he's going to go to the bottom. We got a crash.
Joey Clanton has come. He tried to slow down to get onto pit road, and in doing so, he has caused a melee behind him.
Is that Ken Schrader? That's Ken Schrader just going out of our screen. There's Tyler Walker right there at the 36. There's Craig Kinzer, the 47, spinning around. Jason White had a good run going with his gunbroker.com Ford.
Basically, if you're running 15th or back, you just had a chance to be in a big crash.
Look at that, Ken Schrader.
Damage to the 18 Fastenal Dodge. And you see Ken, he's got the window net down, signifying to the safety crews that he's all right. He's going to unstrap the helmet and climb out of that vehicle.
And that was a track blocker right there.
Sure it was. There's a Tyler Walker who had such a good run going in Bill Davis's Toyota.
Be interesting to see if the 09 trying to get to pit road is what triggered that. It appeared as if it was, Rick. He was the first truck to spin out of line, and then after that, it all broke loose.
There's Kenny Schrader in the Fastenal uniform walking off back towards pit road. Good to see him get out here. Adam, what's going on down there?
Well, the confusion really began a lap earlier after NASCAR had posted Joey Clanton. They told him that he had been posted and he had to come down pit road. But, Phil, he didn't hear that call from the team. So he spent a lap asking, are we going to come down pit road or what? They finally got the message to him, yes, you need to come down pit road. And now Joey Clanton coming on the radio complaining, why did they hit me when I was below the yellow line? So it started with some confusion one lap earlier, and then it turned into the melee that we saw on the racetrack.
There's Jason White right there. We had such a good run going. He had driven that truck up into the top 15. See if we can take a look. There's Joey Clanton, the 09, slowing down. He's on the bottom of the racetrack. The 3 wide behind him.
Oh, the 63 truck just didn't get the memo, man.
He couldn't slow down as Joey Clanton was trying to get off the racetrack.
Joey was not off the racetrack yet. He was straddling the yellow line, and they came around there, and the 63, he probably concerned about the guy beside him and didn't see him. Here we go again.
He's driving through these guys to get, to get up there. His spotter should have said, he should have known a lap before the 09's got a pit. His spotter's got to tell him the 09's coming to pit road. He's on the bottom. Go high. And you know, that was a communication problem. If he didn't hear that spotter, or the spotter didn't tell him, that's the spotter's fault.
A lot of times, don't you guys put your hands up in the air saying, hey, guys, I've got to go in?
He's not going to see that. Down in the corner, it doesn't matter if he had both arms out the window, Rick. He can't see that. But what he has to have is communication from the top. You know, we knew for 2 laps that the 09 had to pit, and that guy should never have been in this position.
There it is right there. He is coming down pit road, but the 63 of Jason White runs into him.
Nothing that the 09 did wrong. He was dead on the bottom, Phil.
And he was probably waving. But it's very difficult. The 63 of Jason White doesn't have that much experience here at this racetrack. It sounds like he didn't really have that much help maybe from up top.
He basically drove through and around the 00 to hit the 09. So even if the 00 had been or the 09 had been waving his arms, the 63 isn't going to see that.
These are the trucks that were involved in this. The third caution, the third crash of the evening.
That's one of those crashes you hate to have. It's just a guy coming to pit road that causes a big crash. You hate to see that.
And so we have completed 24 laps at Daytona, but we have had 3 cautions in those 24 laps, and it has included some of the stars of this series. On their way out, the Fastenal Dodge won't have a chance to complete the first race of the 2007 season.
He's got Carl Edwards down beside him. You got Aaron Fike right behind him, and Todd Bodine. So he won't. I'm going to predict he doesn't lead back to the stripe.
The restart again here at Daytona. And again, Carl Edwards dropping back, but at least he's out on the racetrack. He has not been able to start very well, and we think maybe the problem was the transmission at first. That's why he left the racetrack for 16 laps.
Aaron Fike drove to the outside. He wanted to lead. You know, he was that close to leading a race at Daytona. You know he couldn't stay in line.
All he needed to do was have Todd follow him instead of Johnny, but Todd decided to go the other direction, and now Johnny's leading.
Now, if you're Todd, who are you going to follow, Aaron Fike or Johnny Benson?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Probably Johnny Benson.
Thank you.
Johnny's pretty tough and pretty reliable. And there's poor Aaron all back in the middle of a mess thanks to Todd.
But he just doesn't know that much about Aaron Fike.
3 wide as they make it through the tri-oval. Rick Crawford on the outside, Aaron Fike, and then Eric Darnell on the inside of that 3 wide.
That's probably not a place that Aaron Fike really wants to be, is in the middle of that pack right there.
No, but he stretched it out. He got to the 2 wide, and obviously he's got a fast truck to be up front. Maybe he can get a shove back up there and show him he belongs. That's what you got to do, Phil. You got to show him a couple times. Yeah, y'all shuffled me back, but here I am again.
That is a good truck. That's the truck that David Starr raced last year. Won at Martinsville in that truck. Really dominated the short tracks. But Aaron Fike's given that truck a good ride so far.
The 6 of Travis Kvapil now has his teammate just behind him, and they could begin to work together and work their way back up toward the front. Adam, what's going on with Kelly Byers?
Well, Kelly Byers having a good night here tonight, and that will make everybody smile. In Boston, Wisconsin, that's Kelly's hometown. About 4,000 people live there. I said to Kelly, racing under the lights on a Friday night at Daytona, I bet your hometown's going to be lit up. He said, oh, yeah, they're having parties everywhere. Can't wait to watch the race. And they're getting their delivery tonight. Kelly running up front, looking good here in the early going.
I think Kelly was a 2-time Wisconsin State wrestling champion as a high schooler.
That's a good call.
Yeah.
You were probably a wrestler in high school, weren't you, Michael?
I was.
Yeah, thought so.
105-pound weight class.
I was tougher than a 4-door Dodge pickup and a power slide.
Well, we're riding along with Ted Musgrave. He's currently in 16th, as Phil mentioned before. He finished 3rd in this race 1 year ago behind his teammate Todd Bodine and obviously the winner Martin Martin. We ride along with that Team ASC Toyota Tundra.
Pretty big pack up front here.
Get some help now.
The Toyotas right now hold down the first 3 spots. Phil, a couple of Fords follow them. So far, the thing's been pretty consistent. The Toyotas are the best, and the Fords are second best.
Battle for the lead. Todd Bodine leading the pack on the outside. Now Travis Kvapil moves in, and he has his teammate
Carl Edwards.
Well, I was just getting ready to say it. His teammate and a long line of trucks behind them pushing him right to the front.
There's Rick Crawford, the Power Stroke Diesel Ford. Good to see sponsorship on that truck. That's Aaron Fike, that one. Remember, he was behind Ty Bodine, and now he's in front of Ty Bodine.
And I think there's a fairly good chance that Carl Edwards was sent back into this race to make sure Travis Quapple has the best shot possible to win, Bill. I bet you he's going to push him every which way.
Along with Eric Darnell. So Carl Edwards, he may be out of contention himself. He right now is being shown 17 laps down, but he still may have a voice in the outcome of this race.
He has a voice right now, and who's leading? He shoved that 6 truck to the front, and they put 6 truck links on the rest of the field.
They kept right on going. Adam.
Well, it's been a battle back night for the driver of the number 1, Aaron Fike. When he came down pit road at lap 12, exiting, he got into the 16 of Stacy Compton or vice versa. It damaged the right front of his truck, so they had to make 2 more pit stops to repair the damage. But apparently, no harm, no foul. Aaron Fike in his debut here at Daytona, running up front with the big boys. Ray Dunlap.
I'll tell you what, I've got my eye on Rick Crawford's number 14. He is flying tonight, and Crawford won this race in 2003, and remember, back then he had a terrible case of the flu. Well, the last 2 days, Rick Crawford has pretty much laid in bed because he's had another bad case of the flu. He took 4 bags of IV over at the Infield Care Center yesterday. I said, are you going to be able to make it tonight? He said, as fast as this truck is, you better believe it.
So Rick Crawford with similar, I guess, illness, and possibly he would hope for similar results.
There's our leader right there, the number 6 of Travis Quapple. You know, we talk about the draft at Daytona. We talk about how people push each other. We have a great shot from the Goodyear blimp. Now watch Travis Quapple. He's on the outside right behind Ty Bodine. You see the 50 of Carl Edwards, his teammate, push him right through the middle. Here comes Aaron Fike along with him. It pushes him to the lead at Daytona.
Now I love the blimp shot. Did you see they took the lead? That looked cool. But did you see how they were jockeying? They were trying to go down the straightaway. Yeah, they were all over the place, pushing one another, trying to get to the front. The blimp view shows you how crazy things are on the racetrack.
Remember 1 lap ago when we had 6 truck links from 2nd to 3rd? It's bumper to bumper now.
And look at these trucks trying to all jockey for position. Watch them from up top as they try to decide who's going to be where. The trucks, they don't just go around in circles. They move all over the place.
And they jump around, too. Those trucks jump around. All the drivers were telling me that these trucks are really jumping around out there. You know, Mark Martin won this race last year, and he had a handful in that truck. Talk about jumping around. Now watch this. That's the 40 truck right in the middle of your screen right there. Oh, a little contact with Cale Gale. That's Mike Bliss in that number 40 truck.
But what
a ski plumbing.
What a draft he had. He had so much momentum. He had to do something with it. He couldn't just let off. And he drove right to the side of the other truck.
On board with the AES Chevy Silverado of Ron Hornaday.
That 5 truck of Skinner was sideways right there in the middle of the track.
And we heard Ron Hornaday have to back off the throttle. We talk about running wide open around here. You have these trucks punching these big holes, getting these drafts, pulling up on each other. They're having to back off the throttle. They're having to use the brakes to keep from running into each other.
NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series have a tapered spacer on the engine. It restricts the amount of horsepower, but not nearly as much as the cars out here. These are still producing upwards of 600 horsepower as they go around the big super speedway.
Well, you know, in the past, Phil, we've seen these guys stream out, spread out, try to miss the big one. Every truck on the track that's on the lead lap is in the lead pack.
Absolutely. Joey Clanton, who we saw really pretty much cause that other accident. He didn't really cause it, but he was involved in the start of that accident. He's back up in this lead pack, running up in the top 20.
Yeah, he's in 20th spot, just over a second behind the leader. Now, can you imagine that?
At these speeds, these trucks will run about a football field per second. So he may be 100 yards behind, but he's in the lead pack.
There's 25 trucks, 26 trucks in that lead pack. And the first truck is only 2.5 seconds ahead of the last one. There they all are. All 26 of them.
That's a beautiful sight right
in the lead pack.
And leading it, the 6 of Travis Quapple.
And they're all on different agendas, Phil. You got Travis up front. He's sitting there saying, are they going to stay behind me? How long am I going to be able to keep this lead? Will they try to go around me on the outside? What are they doing? And then you got guys in the middle of the pack thinking, I better be careful right here where I'm at. And then the guys in the back saying, I'm going to watch these cats ahead of me. Everybody's thinking about different agendas right now. There's the 77. Ray, what's he thinking?
Well, Michael, his truck is just a little bit tight out there on the racetrack, so they're going to make a track bar adjustment on it the next time they pit here. Now, realize Brendan's been driving a Dodge for the last couple of years, but this year he shows up in a Chevrolet. He said to us in the qualifying last night that he wasn't sure that this thing was going to qualify very well at all, and it didn't, but he said it is going to draft well. Now, remember, when Derek Cope spun down off the apron earlier, he made a little bit of contact with Brendan. They were afraid that might have torn up his fender, but so far, so good. Everybody happy with that 77.
Well, he's the highest running Chevrolet. He's up in the 7th spot. Well, you call it 7th, Bill, but what is it?
It changes every 1500
anywhere from 4th to 12th.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it, Rick.
You know, that was the most optimistic guy that I've ever seen for qualifying, 27th, and thinking he has a shot to win this race, and he does have a shot to win this race.
Looking back off of Todd Bodine's truck, we see Brendan Gaughan in that South Point Chevrolet. Number 77 off to the left.
That's Kelly Byers in the Air Force Ford on the inside. The number 21 truck. Look, he's going to, we got a lap truck of Craig Kinzer they had to avoid.
There's 27 trucks on the track field that are on the lead lap, and 26 of them are in this pack. Brandon Knopp is not in the lead pack.
He's the only truck on the racetrack on the lead lap that's not racing in this pack,
which is crazy. Can they do this synchronized driving for another 60 laps, or are we going to see somebody mess up and cause a crash?
I think we're going to see some more action.
We're seeing a lot of action right now. Out in front of the field, it's Travis Quaffle, but for how long? He's got the 14 of Rick Crawford behind him. Crawford's won at this racetrack before, back in 2003. We'll see how the Ford Brigade continues.
Hey, Jimmy, I was following you in practice, and it looks like you're kind of messing up turn 3. And if I was you, I would try to arc it out a little more.
Hold on 1 second. I'm going to need it again. I'm so sorry, what were we saying?
Good talk, Jimmy.
Nextel helps NASCAR fans get things done with the new Motorola Buzz. One powerful phone, 2 powerful networks. Nextel, only from Sprint.
So you watch NASCAR race day. You've seen Jimmy and Kenny and their antics. Now you think you can do better? Well, send us your best impressions of Jimmy and Kenny, and you might see yourself on race day. It's all a part of my race day. Log on to speedtv.com for more information.
Ooh, Todd Bodine gets big time loose coming off turn number 4.
Now he's our champion, you know.
He's the lead truck on the outside.
And when the champion can about wreck in front of the field, anybody can.
Anybody can, and we've seen just about anybody.
Right. Kelly Byers, he's from Wisconsin. He doesn't have any idea what he's doing. You know, this is all new to him. He's wide-eyed and running right in that lead pack, doing a great job.
Really, you know, Kingsford Charcoal is an associate sponsor on that truck, and they're celebrating 10 years.
There goes Bliss.
And the Busch Series this year with a number 59 car driven by Marcus Ambrose from the Truck Series last year.
Do you know that Bliss knows how to draft as good as anybody?
Has anybody told these guys that they're going 190 miles an hour?
Well, I asked you earlier, why don't they just calm down?
How about the job Mike Bliss did yesterday in the Gatorade duels?
Missed the Daytona 500 by a foot.
Foot and a half.
Golly, that hurt my heart.
Here comes Mike Bliss looking to the outside of the 21 of Kelly Byers.
And you know, he just might have something he wants to prove. He might want to run up there and win this race.
3 wide off of turn 4. 2 wide here.
This truck is really going through the center of the corner. Watch it just drive right by that 88 of Matt Craftsman through the center of the corner.
And how does that happen, you say? He didn't qualify very well. Matt Craftsman, we talked about him during qualifying. He qualified terrible. There he is, right in the middle of the front of the pack.
There's Brandon Nupp, the 28. Now he will go a lap down, so every truck right now on the lead lap is in the lead pack.
There you have it.
Man, and Mike Bliss is bouncing around in front of him.
But he's passing trucks while he's bouncing.
Yeah.
And plus, he's on a mission. He's all the way up to the 7th spot. And he's brought A.J. Allmendinger with him.
He was going to squeeze. He squeezed in front of A.J. Allmendinger right there.
A.J. was all right with that. Darrell's probably talking to him on the radio.
He gave him a break, too. He could have made a binding on him, but he backed off and let him in.
Now they're all by Brandon Nupp. Before they were by him, they were pre-Nupp.
That's
now
Greg
post
Kinzer.
Nupp.
Yes.
That's Craig Kinzer in the 47 slowing on the inside of the racetrack.
Hey, his truck's damaged pretty severely.
NASCAR is actually checking for debris on the backstretch.
I hope they don't find any. I like this green flag racing.
Now we're getting a bit of a rhythm. We're seeing some great racing. We're not getting interrupted with caution flags every 3 or 4 laps. There's Brendan Gaughan right there in front of us. That's the AES Solution Chevrolet Ron Hornaday, who you're riding along with. That's the South Point Chevrolet, Brendan Gaughan. There's Matt Craftsman Chevrolet, the Menard Chevrolet on the outside, the number 88. Watch that truck bounce around. Watch these trucks bounce around right now.
Look at it. It almost looks like it's wanting to spin out. The back end's leaning over. Man.
Looks like it's yawed out there, doesn't it?
That's 600 horsepower, 27 trucks long. That's somewhere around 14,000 horsepower.
That's 16,200.
Mr. Math, Phil Parsons with that one. The South Point Chevrolet running fairly well in the middle of the pack, right?
Somewhere around 14,000, like I said.
Ray, were you going to tell us about the 77?
Yeah, absolutely, Rick. You know, when these guys came down and tested, a lot of these drivers not very happy with the amount of downforce they have in these trucks. So whenever they, we've got the 23 coming to pit road. Adam?
Reason he's coming to pit road, Ray, is they did not pit when everyone else pitted at lap 26. We talked to Trip Bruce. He said, we're going to get a caution. Well, it didn't happen, so they had to pit under green. Their window about 10 laps different than all the other guys are under. They're going to change 4 tires and top off the fuel tank. No adjustments for Johnny Benson. And now the caution out on the racetrack. They will go ahead and change all 4 tires. Tough break here for Johnny Benson.
And Johnny Benson will get back on the track in the lead lap and wind up leading the race, guys. Everybody else will pit, and Johnny's going to be in the front of the pack when the green flag falls.
What an incredible break for Johnny. We're sitting here while Adam is doing this pit report. You see Brandon up. That's the reason for the caution flag. We're sitting here thinking how Tripper's really screwed up here, and he's going to end up leading this race.
4 tires, Bob.
I'm glad that Adam was doing that pit report. We didn't have a chance to tell him how bad that they screwed up.
4 tires. Bob, the left front tire is flat. We're going to need somebody to push up on the thing to get the jack under it, most likely. The left.
Those guys are discussing what all is going wrong with that truck while Johnny Benson's pulling off pit road with a big old smile on his face. That's going to be the guy that's leading the race when we go back to green, Phil.
Because we're going to have all the rest of these trucks pit, because most of these trucks pitted back on lap number 26. So they've run almost, it'll be 25 laps when they come around this time. They can only run about 35, maybe up to 40 laps. So all these trucks are going to come back down pit road, and JB will be in the lead.
We'll have to ask Johnny about that if we get a chance, see what he thinks.
You know, Michael, you had mentioned that we had not seen a free pass, and you would think, okay, well, the caution has come out, so we'll see our first free pass, but the driver who brought out the caution does not get the free pass.
And that
was the 28 of Brandon Nupp, who would have received it. And so we won't receive a free pass.
We're having a devil of a time giving away Aaron's lucky dog.
Where's that dog at?
We're at the halfway point of the race, and we still have not had a free pass.
Has that dog left the state? Is he?
Well, actually, did you see the bone at the beginning of the show?
I did.
The dog was chasing the bone.
Well, did you see those trucks? They look like junkyard dogs.
Okay, we're hearing that pit road is open, but now it has just changed to green. The light at the entrance to pit road, and that was the confusion earlier. NASCAR letting the teams know pit road is open, the green light and the green flag being displayed so that the teams know they can come down pit road. Travis Kvapil leads the field onto pit road. Let's go down to Adam Alexander.
And Travis Kvapil not saying a great deal about the truck, just a bit snug. They are going to make a wedge adjustment to loosen it up just a bit. It will be a 4-tire stop, and they will top off the fuel tank to Ray Dunlap.
Rick Crawford is in his Power Stroke diesel Ford. They're going to also go with 4 tires on this number 14. Last time on pit road was lap 26. Now you also see that Jack Sprague is in. He's on the bottom of your screen. Sprague's truck was bottoming out on the racetrack, so they put a pound of air pressure in all 4 tires. Sprague has the very first pit stop, or pit stall, excuse me. We'll see if he's able to get off pit road quickly. Sprague will not be the first one off pit road.
Looked like Travis Kvapil won that battle off of pit road with some quick pit work by Mike Beam and his guys, but we know who's going to be leading this race on the restart.
Yeah, Johnny Benson, just like a plan.
amazing luck for the 23 of Johnny Benson. That Toyota Tundra. He is out in front of the field at Daytona. Daytona International Speedway. The flashing lights are off on the pace truck, meaning he will make the hard left turn onto pit road and put the field into the hands of the 23 of Johnny Benson. About to go back to racing, Travis Kvapil, Rick Crawford, and Jack Sprague just behind him, and that makes up your top 4. Terry Cook rounding out the top 5.
JB got a little bit of a late Valentine present there when the caution came out while he was on pit road. Green.
That's what my daddy would call from the outhouse to the penthouse. They went to pit road, and he thought he was going to be the only guy there, lose a lap, be in trouble, and I'll be darned, while he's on pit road, the caution comes out, and he stays on the track, grabs the lead, gets 5 points. We know how important that is, but Travis Kvapil isn't standing for it, is he, Phil?
Nor is Jack Sprague. No. Jack wants the lead on the outside.
And he's bringing Stacy Compton with him.
That's actually Terry Cook.
That's what I meant.
Terry Cook right behind the 60. And so now Terry Cook looking as if he wants a little bit of help from Johnny Benson to see if he can get by the 60 of Jack Sprague.
We've got Aaron Fike in the 1, his Toyota right up there too, right behind the K&N Filters Ford of Travis Kvapil. Then we've got Rick Crawford, always seems to work his way to the front when we get to Daytona.
Adam, what's going on with the number 1?
Well, you know, we talked about Johnny Benson and the lucky break he received with a caution coming out when it did. Well, the caution came out at a perfect time for Aaron Fike as well. He had not been on pit road since lap 15. He was going to have to come in the next 2 or 3 laps. The caution comes out. He comes down, gets back on cycle with the leaders, and he appears to have a truck that could win this thing here tonight.
I don't know. Everybody has one that appears they can win it to me, Phil. They all shuffle to the top just depending on what lap it is. We have consistently seen the 6 truck, though, surface there more often than anyone else, Phil.
He really has. Now, he was strong in testing down here last month. Every practice session, he had the fastest lap time of anybody. Rick Crawford looked to the inside. Aaron Fike is going to pull back down and shut the door.
Hey guys, let me give you an update on Mike Bliss real quick in that Curtis Key Plumbing number 40. He came down pit road and was about to hit his pit stall, but Brandon Knupp, who had caused that caution, was in the way and he had missed his pit stall, so Bliss couldn't get pulled in. He had to go back on the racetrack, drive around, come back down pit road. I think the 40's pretty fast, but he started from the tail of the field.
Oh, he's definitely fast. He's passing trucks left and right.
He really is. And what a horrible break for Mike Bliss, but he's a man on a mission after just narrowly missing the Daytona 500 yesterday in his qualifying race.
He's got some loose sheet metal there on the left front, Phil, or is that some tape? Can you tell?
It looks like a little bit of tape on that left front because these splitters now, they're made out of some plastic-like material. It's a ½ inch thick. It's really a lot stronger than plastic, so I don't think it's that flopping around.
A composite material there on the bottom of the splitter, and Carl Edwards following behind the South Point Chevrolet of Brendan Gaughan. Now, Carl has pushed quite a few trucks up to the front, but now he's back in the packaways. Oh, and here goes Travis Kvapil by Jack Sprague. Has the help of Aaron Fike now in that number 1.
Yeah, but the 14 truck of Rick Crawford said, I'll stick with you, Jack. I'll keep Aaron from getting around you, but maybe I'll go under you too. I don't know what I want to do.
And it got a little bit loose too. He had Mike Skinner right behind him. It got Rick a little bit loose coming off of 4.
And did you see how it bunched everyone up behind those trucks just because of him losing his momentum a little bit? Everybody had to check up a little bit. We almost had a crash.
Look at all these trucks. We've got all these trucks in a big wad going in turn 1.
Jack Sprague, like a slingshot, shot around to the outside of Travis Kvapil. Wasn't able to get by him though.
That's a good term, slingshot. Did you think of that all on your own?
I think I heard it earlier. Rick Crawford tucked in just behind Travis Kvapil. 2 Fords working together, and then a couple Toyotas behind them.
You know, we had this. The slingshot was invented back in the 60s, and I think these trucks put such a big hole in the air. This is way more of a slingshot than we have ever seen in a Nextel Cup car.
Well, and plus back in the 60s, there were 3 or 4 cars racing that could slingshot one another. We've talked about, we got 25 trucks in this lead pack shooting all over each other, slingshotting one another.
Ray Dunlap.
Hey, I just want to let you know, Phil, the slingshot was actually invented about 400 BC, but the racing term might have been in the 60s, but the slingshot's really a lot older than that.
Well, I stand corrected. Thank you, Ray.
Oh, my goodness. And this is just the first race of the season.
Look at this battle. 3 wide. The 59 truck of Terry Cook.
And Ray thinks he's going to get a ride home from the airport.
I think he's going to have to use the slingshot move to find a way home. Adam Alexander.
A.J. Allmendinger came down the pit lane at lap 51 like the other trucks in this race, and he took 4 tires but actually lost a couple of spots in the pit lane. He came over the radio, said, don't worry, guys, it's a lot more enjoyable to make them up on the track than it is in here anyway. That's not conventional wisdom for a driver. I'm sure Michael and Phil could point that out to you, but you may remember this is the same race car driver that in his second Truck Series start last fall at Talladega finished in the top 5, so he's very capable of running in the draft and proving it once again here tonight at Daytona.
Man, but Talladega is such a different animal, Phil. That place so ultra smooth, very fast. Handling's not even a factor here at Daytona. It's all, see these trucks bouncing around. You can tell it's all about handling and positioning here.
Saw a shot of Mike Bliss, the 40 truck going right through the middle again. Mike Bliss's truck loves the middle of the racetrack.
How about who's out front now? Mike Skinner has just taken the point in that number 5 Toyota Tundra.
And he brought Johnny back with him. Johnny started this, took this restart in the lead, but never made it all the way back around. Fell back 10th, 12th. Here he is, back to the front. Got Jack Sprague right behind him.
They have 3 Toyotas lined up right now. On the outside, led by Mike Skinner.
Mike Skinner had 8 top 10 finishes in his last 9 races of the 2006 season.
Here's Ted Musgraves on board the Team ASC Toyota. Is that Mike Bliss right there in front of Ted Musgrave?
He is on a mission. Oh, he gets a hold to the truck ahead of him.
There's the 59 spinning around.
Bliss got into the back of the 59, Phil.
Got done, boys.
He needs to get that thing down in the grass. The fire will go out if he can get in the grass.
Got a fire there, buddy. Get out of there as quick as you can. Get it to the bottom.
See, Terry has the window net down. Looks like the fire has been extinguished. A little bit of residual fire in the back.
That looked like a bit of bump drafting gone bad. We saw the same thing on the last lap of the shootout the other night. Dale Jr. getting to the back of Elliott Sadler. It looked like, from our first look, that Bliss got in the back of the 59 of Terry Cook. We'll have to confirm that, but that's what it appeared happened.
And it may not have been an attempt at bump drafting. It may have been a situation where he just ran up on him so quick because these trucks run up. The closure rate is so fast on these trucks. But what a horrible break for Terry Cook and Jim Harris's Toyota. Melling sponsorship on it. They had such a great truck. Had to go to the very back of the field after a great qualifying run, and they've made their way all the way back up to the front.
Made it up to the front, and just, you know, there's a chance he had to let off the gas a little bit exiting that corner, and maybe Bliss got him, or Bliss might have just used his momentum and run into him. He's under him there. He moves up and catches him in the side.
It looked like Mike may have thought about going through the middle again, and then that hole closed up, and that he ran out of room there, made a slight bit of contact with the left rear corner of the 59.
And then the fire starts.
Bad fire, but it goes out.
Yeah, what a horrible break.
Horrible break for Terry, but a good break for Brandon Knupp, as he's going to get the, look at there, he just got on the inside of him and got into the 59.
Great shot from the Goodyear blimp.
Look at everybody scrambling through the grass, Phil.
It looked like Matt Craftsman went down pit road. You're allowed to do that to avoid an accident, but you have to slow down. You cannot maintain your speed of 175 or 80 miles an hour. Look at the super slow motion.
Just barely clips him. I did the same thing to, well, I won't say that. I clipped Dale Jr. the other day. It happens so fast here. When I decided I was going to move up to get behind Dale Jr., and then I realized I didn't have room, from the time I made that decision, I didn't have room, and turned the wheel, it was over. I'd already hit him before I knew what happened. And Mike, it looked like Phil said, attempted to go through the middle, decided better of it, went to move up, and he just clipped the 59 of Terry Cook and caused him to crash his truck.
A lot of great driving, though, right behind this accident. Ted Musgrave avoiding this accident. Carl Edwards avoiding this accident right there at our speed camera.
That's the second or third single truck incident we've had where the truck was right in the middle of the field, and these guys have done a great job of avoiding the wreck.
Watch this.
Did you hear something hit his truck?
Yeah. Some debris came off his truck. Here's Ron Hornaday's onboard camera. Yes, Solution Chevrolet.
I'm just in front of you. Good job, good job. Come on up.
He's like, good job, and Ron's thinking, I'm not done crashing yet.
I'm in the grass running 180 miles an hour.
Give me a minute here before you start congratulating me.
Well, I'm glad to know that Terry Cook already got out of this truck as we watch this replay of this truck catching on fire.
He had already had the window net down and was already unbuckling his belt as he was climbing out of that.
38 laps to go, Phil. Do they pit? Can they make it?
I think they pit because there's going to be 37 laps to go when they come on pit road. I think most of these guys have good fuel mileage runs. I think most of them can make it.
And the field starts to come down pit road. Adam Alexander, here they come.
And one of the guys we're going to be watching on the pit lane is going to be the Johnny Benson machine. He says it's just a tick tight. Going to put on 4 tires, make an air pressure adjustment. You see Johnny at the top of your screen. Slides do a stop perfectly. They will put on 4 tires. Slide air pressure is the only thing they're going to do to that Toyota. Ray Dunlap.
Absolutely no tires for Rick Crawford. It's fuel only. He's going to go. These tires are hard as a rock. Same thing for Jack Sprague. They wanted to put fuel in it only, no tires for the Conway Toyota.
Race off pit road now. Again, Johnny Benson came in leading the race. Coming off of pit road, the races continue. And that's Matt Craftsman at Menards 88. 5 cautions so far at Daytona. The Aaron's lucky dog now goes to Brandon Nupp. And we are back underway.
I would have guessed at least over/under on 9 lucky dogs tonight, and it took us to 3/4 of the way through to get 1.
Well, we've had enough caution flags to have several lucky dogs, but nobody was a lap down.
Isn't that weird?
Jack Sprague out in front of the field. A lot of the trucks when they came in all topped off with fuel and changed 4 tires. Ray, what's going on with the tire situation?
Well, Rick, I think it's going to be a crew chief's nightmare here coming up. We've got plenty of fuel in all these trucks to make it the distance of this race, but everybody's got a fresh set of stickers sitting down here in the pit area. What do you guys do? I know it depends on when that next caution comes out, but a lot of these guys thinking you got to hold that track position tonight and not come back down for those fresh stickers.
Remember, Ray, it sounds like they have enough fuel to get to the end, but if we have a green-white checker here, this race could be extended 3 or 4 or 5 laps, and we're talking 2.5 miles per lap. So they may not have quite enough insurance. Now, is that the 50 truck out front bringing his teammate of Eric Darnell actually to the lead?
Eric Darnell will lead at Daytona. If he's able to hold on to this position, his teammate, Carl Edwards, who is currently quite a few laps down. Carl currently 17 laps down after the transmission problems to start the race.
What a great rookie year Eric Darnell had last year. He finished 6th in this race, really helped Mark Martin win this race last year. He finished 2nd last year at Memphis. Great rookie season. I think he will win a race this year.
Wow, he's in a great truck, and that's a good call, Phil. And right now, we're finally seeing a couple of Chevys working their way to the front. It's taken all night, but right now Hornaday's up to 3rd, Brendan's riding 5th.
Brendan's hung up in the middle. That's Rick Crawford, the 14 Power Stroke diesel Ford on the outside. Ted Musgrave, the 9, right behind him, the Team ASC Toyota.
It's the Silverado HD 250, and Hornaday's going to try to spice things up a little bit for the Chevy crowd. There he sits, riding in the 3rd spot.
That's the Conway Toyota right there of Jack Sprague, our pole sitter, right in front of him. Remember, we have Carl Edwards in the 50 truck out front. He is 17 laps down, but he is leading this field around, and he's got his teammate Eric Darnell right behind him, who's actually leading the race.
He's doing a pretty good job of leading his teammate around this 2.5-mile super speedway. Now, Jack Sprague probably isn't going to sit for this very long because Jack really enjoyed leading the field around here. Looked like his truck even handled better. But here comes Travis Quaffle on the outside of Ron Hornaday, and he looked like he got shot out of a cannon.
What kind of power move was that?
When did they invent a cannon?
right after the
I don't know.
slingshot.
Let's go down to Ray. Maybe he knows, right?
Well, I don't have the answer to that, but I do know these guys went back and worked on this 33 truck after they came here in testing. Hornaday was not happy at all with the way his truck handled, but he said he couldn't believe the magic that Rick Wren did on that truck when they brought it back and got it on the racetrack the other day. Hornaday was very happy. He says this set of tires feels a little bit choppy right now, and he feels like the truck is dancing around more than usual. We'll see how the 33 continues on the racetrack. Adam?
And I just want to confirm something, Ray. You were talking about sticker tires. We got to follow up with Mike Beam, but it looked like Travis Kvapil had used up all of his sticker tires prior to this last stop. So we were talking about what guys have saved up, but the 6 came down at lap 12, 26, and 51, and they all those stops put on sticker tires. So as of now, they don't have a fresh set of tires like some of these guys. It'll be an interesting game plan for Mike Beam. If they do have an opportunity to pit again, do they come down? They may have no reason with no sticker tires remaining. We'll continue to follow it up.
It's got some real tight racing. A.J. Allmendinger, the Red Bull Toyota, went for a bit of a ride as Ron Hornaday tries to squeeze up against the 60 of Jack Sprague. Got Jack and a Conway Toyota on the outside, leading Travis Kvapil. Let's take a look back here. Look at the Red Bull Toyota right in the middle of the field right there. Looks like he gets a little contact from Chase Miller in the Ford truck. Does a great job saving that truck. Looked a lot like Derek Cope's save earlier.
And sometimes that bank, the transition can save your rear end, and sometimes it'll break your rear end. And that time, AJ got a break by getting it down on the apron, and then it shot back up on the track. Look at this battle.
Jack Sprague had moved up front, but he didn't have any help, and here comes Travis Kvapil.
Look at the Chevys marching their way to the front.
Got a lot of help from Brendan Gaughan there to push him by Jack Sprague.
Well, for a little while, but here comes Eric Darnell again right behind his teammate. Now we've got 3 Roush trucks running together. Who is Carl Edwards going to run in front of? He's got a huge dilemma right now.
He pulled over and he gave a little help to the 6. Now he's going to pull back down to help the 99.
He's trying to watch both and help both. We look on top. We're up above with the Goodyear blimp right now. Look at that tight fit.
Look at that move by Travis Kvapil to get underneath Sprague.
And look at Brendan Gaughan go with the South Point Chevrolet, going to follow him, push him through.
There you have a good look at the Craftsman Truck Series. Ford, Chevy, Toyota.
Here's what Todd Bodine saw right here. Watch Travis Kvapil just turn left, go right through the middle. And here comes Brendan Gaughan.
I bet you Todd thought, where does he think he's going?
You know, somebody's hit the back of that South Point Chevrolet pretty hard. It's caved in quite a bit.
You'll have that here. These guys are
3 wide battle right there. Johnny Benson on the inside. Brendan Gaughan, the 77 in the middle, and Aaron Fike, the #1 on the outside.
He's been up in that front pack all night long, Phil.
He really has done a great job here.
And look at Matt Crafton lurking right there as well. There's no way to guess even now who's going to win this race.
Well, there's a huge bunch of trucks here, and just behind them is the 16 of Stacy Compton. What are they talking about, Adam?
Well, they're just too loose to race, is the word from Dave Hughes, the owner and crew chief. He said, we feel really good about where we're at. We've played the game all night long, but I think the toughest thing for them is the truck's been loose throughout the evening. And we got to remember, this is a deal that was put together, Rick, just a couple of weeks ago. They didn't have the opportunity to come down here and test in January like most of these teams, so they were a bit behind the 8 ball this weekend. Stacy Compton in the 16 this week. Next week, Kelly Byers, the rookie, moves over and drives that truck as Mark Martin moves into the 21 and replaces Kelly at California.
Oh, great.
Just when you thought you knew where everybody was.
I knew where everybody was, but Stacy Compton, now they're going to start switching already.
1 race into it. Down the backstretch again. Carl Edwards is 17 laps down, but he is still pulling his teammates around the racetrack. Travis Kvapil and Eric Darnell just behind him.
And that plan's working out perfect right now. You got Todd Bodine and Hornaday there lurking, trying to figure out when they can take their turn at the front.
There's Brendan Gaughan, the 77. We're getting a report that something may have fallen off that truck.
Probably that back bumper cover area that was crumbled in so bad.
See if we can take a look at it. Watch that. That it is part of the rear bumper. It's probably going to, it's just really just a piece of fiberglass almost. There it goes. It blows off there.
Not going to hurt a thing.
We should be able to stay under green.
Yeah, and Brendan's very, very lucky that fell off, Phil, because if it dangles like that, NASCAR is probably going to black flag him. So he avoided a trip to pit road there.
So out in front of the field, it's the Roush Fenway Racing Team. Travis Kvapil leads at Daytona. The Daytona International Speedway, the Chevy Silverado HD 250 continues. We've completed 77 laps on lap 78, meaning we've just got a few to go, 23 to be exact, and it is still out in front. Travis Kvapil, when we went away, he was in front. Now Todd Bodine moves to the outside of Eric Darnell, challenging him for second.
They know they have to do something to break up this Roush trio.
Yeah, they're tired of looking at that. Those guys are getting too comfortable with running 1, 2, 3 up front there. And these guys are saying, okay, we've got to mess this up. We got to put something else into the mix.
What's Todd Bodine saying, Adam?
But Todd Bodine having a great deal of success on the racetrack, and his spotter just came over the radio. That's Stevie Reeves. He also spots for Jimmy Johnson. They've been successful here before. And he said the 60 will go with you, and the 23 will come as well. And it's worth mentioning the 23 at this point. You may remember that last pit stop at 63. Johnny Benson had some problems, dropped back to 17th. He's rallied into the top 5. A Toyota brigade coming to the front in the late going at Daytona.
These Toyotas are tired of looking at those Fords up front. They got to bust it up. That's a good call, Phil. That's exactly what's going on right now.
There, Todd had a run. He was able to drive by the 6 of Travis Kvapil. Jack Sprague's going to stay with him. I saw these two drivers talking. Todd Bodine and Jack Sprague were talking before the race. He said, we have to do something together to beat these Fords.
And there they go. Todd Bodine's up beside Carl Edwards. Carl's the wild card. He doesn't have anything to lose. He just wants to help his guys.
And he stays right in front of the 6 of Travis Kvapil. Whoa! Very close for Jack Sprague.
I don't know if he tried to drive in front of Travis Kvapil or if he got loose and had to chase his truck down there.
Ray, what's going on with Jack?
Well, remember on the last pit stop, they put a pound of air pressure up.
Kelly Myers gets spun around in the tri-oval. Getting caught up in that as well. The 8 of Blake Bjorklund.
Yeah, Mike Bliss got a piece of that in the 40 truck also.
Mike got enough of that where I think it's going to hurt his truck. Kelly was doing a great job running right up there in that front pack. Blake hit him a ton.
Yeah, Blake Bjorklund was also up in that front pack, doing a great job. A lot of damage to that BlueOx.com Chevrolet.
Just as we were talking about the amazing save by Jack Sprague up toward the front of the pack, this was taking place at the back of the pack. Kelly Byers and the 8 of Blake Bjorklund getting into each other and into the wall.
Everyone, Kelly did a fantastic job, buddy.
That's John Monson, his crew chief. Here's a look of it. There's the 21 right there. That blue truck on the outside.
Oh, wow. Looked like AJ thought about getting up in line, and it looked like Kelly thought about coming down at the same time.
Yeah, it looked like AJ really drove up the hill quite a bit there. Let's see if we can take another look at it.
I like that first look.
Yeah. Here's another one. They're already obviously made contact. There's the 21 getting hit by the 8 of Blake Bjorklund, and then Mike Bliss comes along with a 40 and makes contact with the number 8 of Blake Bjorklund.
It'll be interesting to see. Phil, check out the 21. He's coming off the wall, going lower, and
there's another view from on top of the grandstands, again already in progress.
And the 00 decides to come off the bottom to go up.
Yeah.
Look at that first.
It did look like that center lane was open, but both of them wanted to fill it at the same time.
Why, you ask yourself?
I was going to ask you that, actually. The Tethers did a great job of holding the hood of the 21 of Kelly Byers on. You see the two meeting in the middle, and this brings out our 6th caution of the night from Daytona. Jack Sprague led us to the green flag initially, and then the problems early on for the DirecTV hot pass 46 of Mike Wallace.
Good job by the field working their way by Mike. He keeps it down out of traffic pretty much. So that's the first of several crashes we'll see right in the middle of the field where only one truck's involved.
Here's our outside pole sitter. Carl Edwards has a transmission problem, has to go behind the wall, loses 17 laps.
Then the big one, or pretty big one. The 09 of Joey Clanton was slowing to come in, and a lot of guys didn't understand that.
Yeah, Jason White, the 63, made some contact with him initially, and that caused this.
Watch this truck right in the middle of the pack again, and everybody skirts by. Carl Edwards does a great job there.
It's Terry Cook in the 59, and then the fire breaks out, but Terry's able to climb out of that truck and make his way back onto pit road.
Here Kelly Byers in the 21 and the 00 of A.J. Allmendinger get together. Kelly makes some pretty hard contact with the outside wall. Blake Bjorklund comes along, makes some contact with him, and then Mike Bliss, with nowhere to go, hits Blake.
Blake's first trip to Daytona. I think next time he'll decide that green grass looks like a pretty good place to try to miss that crash. Tried to get back up on the track and couldn't quite clear the 21.
That's how we've gotten to where we are. Todd Bodine, now our leader. He stayed out when quite a few trucks decided to come in under this most recent caution. We've had 9 different drivers take the point. 18 lead changes have taken place, and we only have 16 laps of racing to go.
The top 11 trucks stayed on the racetrack. We will have 15 laps to go right now. Todd Bodine is our leader.
And their wild card in this whole race right now, Phil, is that white truck done on the inside. Carl Edwards is very fast, and he's also very biased. He wants a Ford to win this race, and he's going to help his Ford teammates all he can. So he's going to be in this mix. I'm interested to see how long he will stay in the mix, to see if he's going to push them all the way to the end, or if he will back out with a few to go and let them decide it on their own.
Right now we have 3 Toyotas lined up. The 30th Todd Bodine. There's a Ford driving to the outside. That's Travis Quapple.
That's not going to work. He decides better of it. Here comes another Toyota.
All 3 of these guys have got together. Todd Bodine, Jack Sprague, and Johnny Benson. They said, let's stay in line and see what happens. If we can get to the end of the race, then we'll settle it amongst ourselves.
We've seen that strategy work before. A couple years ago when Carl Edwards won, he got down on the bottom. Oh, look at the one truck right against the wall.
And the 9 of Ted Musgrave looked like made contact with the 1 of Aaron Fike. Remember, we've got some fresh tires in this field right now.
There's Bill Lester. We hadn't said a whole lot about Bill tonight, but he's in the top 15, battling in the front of that pack.
You hear Ted Musgrave having to play with a throttle through the corner. You see him, he has to back off. He gets such a run. Got a battle for the lead.
Here comes Jack Sprague to the outside of Todd Bodine. He's got the help of Travis Quapple behind him in that number 6. Again, a great view from the Goodyear blimp, watching as Jack Sprague takes the lead at Daytona.
And Todd's stationed beside this Ford truck of Travis Quapple. He's got Johnny Benson behind him, but there's 2 Fords up on the outside.
We've got 4 Toyotas lined up on the inside. Jack Sprague, the 30 of Todd Bodine, the 23 of Johnny Benson, and the 5 of Mike Skinner.
A manufacturer battle about to take place. Toyotas on the inside, Fords on the outside.
By the way, this is Carl Edwards right behind Travis Quapple, Michael.
And he's decided so far he's got to help.
And his teammate, Eric Darnell, just behind Carl Edwards. So the 3 Fords line up on the outside.
He said, I'm here for you, brother. I'll help you fight these Toyotas, but will it work?
Ooh, Jack Sprague looked like he got real loose down there. Going to allow Travis Quapple to drive by him. I think he had to get out of the throttle, Michael.
He did, and look at the momentum. Oh, and sideways.
Oh, back in the back. That's the 4 of Chase Miller. Chase Miller up on 2 wheels. A hard collision into the wall.
Hey guys, we just crashed.
Came down and made contact with a 75 of Dennis Setzer. He, in turn, ran into Brendan Gaughan. That's Brendan Gaughan, South Point Chevrolet right there. There's Cale Gale, Ron Hornaday's teammate in the RVs.com Chevrolet.
Cale Gale did not hit anything. He's going to take off. Brendan's truck's tore all
Yeah,
to
we're all right,
pieces.
guys. We're all right.
The worst truck in that wreck is that one. That Ford truck about turned over.
It lifted up on 2 wheels.
That middle got going and just took the air off of it.
Look at that left front tire laid up on the front of that truck, all tore off.
There's Cale Gale going to try to take it easy, make sure if he has any flat tires, it doesn't tear the bodywork off that truck.
Now this this restart will be interesting because Carl Edwards will have to go to the tail of the field. It'll be a single file restart, so Carl will be in the back. How long do you think it's going to take him to come up there and help his Ford buddies?
4 or 5 laps. 4 or 5 laps. Yeah, we should have a restart. It'll be inside of 10 laps to go, but hopefully we can get 7 or 8 laps of green flag racing. You see Brendan Gaughan climbing out of his truck.
Chase Miller's doing the same thing.
Chase Miller shakes his head, waves to the crowd. A wild ride for Chase Miller tonight.
Disappointed young man right there. A lot of damage to that Dodge.
Truck's tore all to pieces.
Disappointing night actually for Bobby Hamilton Racing as well. Both of their Dodges now out of the race.
Chase just got a little bit loose. He was kind of in the middle, but look at Matt Crafton. You know he had nowhere to go. Look at that truck get up on 2 wheels.
Dennis Setzer also involved in that in the 75.
A.J. Allmendinger slipping by, and Darrell's truck there on the bottom. That Red Bull Toyota.
There's another view. He gets a little bit loose coming off of turn number 4, just past gate number 7.
That's when you know you're in trouble, when that thing hooks, Phil.
Yeah, watch him get up on 2 wheels. Actually, all 4 wheels off the ground. He makes a little bit of contact with Dennis Setzer. Dennis tries to avoid him, and in doing so, makes contact with Brendan Gaughan and puts him into the outside wall.
Chain reaction. We've seen it numerous times here at Daytona.
Right,
that camera,
right at our camera.
That camera is bad luck right there.
Look at that truck. It just slides up the hill, and he tries to pull it back down and overcorrects it. Brendan Gaughan with just no place to go. None of those guys, really.
I cannot believe that Matt Crafton did not run into that 4 of Chase Miller.
I promise you, somebody else that can't believe it's Matt Crafton, because it happened so fast.
A lot of damage to the Spears Manufacturing Chevrolet of Dennis Setzer. I'll tell you, that team will have some great runs this year. It's not going to be today. You see all the damage to that truck, but he will have some terrific runs this year. Get that team back on track. You see the trucks that are involved in that accident. Cale Gale, the 2, Chase Miller, the 4, Dennis Setzer, the 75, and there's Brendan Gaughan Chevrolet, the 77.
So our 7th caution has come out, and a big one. As they entered the tri-oval, Chase Miller got spun around up on 2 wheels. A few other trucks involved in this one. It's going to be a shootout to the finish. Who will win at Daytona in 2007? We're about to find out. With Just for Men moment.
Watch the double zero of A.J. Allmendinger. He's going to have a little contact from Chase Miller, the 4.
That'll give you gray hair there.
But he's able to stay in the game. Stay in the game with Just for Men hair color. And the field continues to make their way down pit road behind the Pace truck. They're not able to stop for service at this point. They have not opened pit road, but they are having to use pit road to go down because of the accident and the work that's being done in the tri-oval.
Hey, Phil, Travis is getting ready to lose his wingman. Carl Edwards is going to go to the back. There's a bunch of Toyotas up there. See if you can get a hold of him. Ask him.
You want to ask him what he thinks?
Ask him if he thinks he can hold on.
Yeah, let's try that. Hey, Travis Quapple, Phil Parsons, can you hear me?
Yeah, 10-4. We're just got to be smart here.
Hey, Travis, Phil Parsons, can you hear me, buddy?
Yeah, loud and clear.
You're going to lose your wingman here. We're going to have a restart with less than 10 laps to go. Carl's going to have to drop to the back of the field because he's more than 1 lap, or because he's laps down. You've got your teammate Eric Darnell that's back in 5th. You've got a whole slew of Toyotas up there. What's your strategy?
I tell you what, we got our work cut out for us. I feel like we got our F-150 is the fastest truck out here tonight. It's just a matter of keeping them behind us. We're out front. We can really haul the mail. It's just if they get a run on me, I just have to do everything I can to hold them off. We got K&N on for the first time tonight. We really want to take them to victory lane. I'm just really proud to be driving for Roush Fenway. They gave me a spectacular truck, and we'll do everything we can.
Do you have a plan to try to get your teammate Eric Darnell to help you?
Well, I guess it's getting to that point now. It's almost every man for himself, but you know, if I can help the 99 or vice versa, so definitely first things first. And I don't know, it's going to be tough. I feel like we got the best truck, like I said. And I really wish Carl was on the lead lap. He's been an awesome help to me tonight. So we'll do what we can. And 99's second or third fastest truck here, so maybe we can work together and hold them off.
Travis, that 50 truck of Carl Edwards is probably fast enough. It may take him a few laps, but he'll probably get there to help you before the end of the race.
Yeah, Carl's awesome. He's won here in the past. He's got a super fast F-150 as well. So, you know, before this deal's all over with, we might have some help. 5-7 laps, something like that. That's still a long ways to go. With as much as these things draft up and can really make some exciting moves. Been a part of some exciting ones here before. Hopefully we can have another one.
All right, you've given that truck a great ride tonight. Finish it off, Travis. Thanks.
All right, thank you.
He made the comment, been a part of an exciting finish here. He actually finished second to Rick Crawford when they came across the start-finish line 3 wide. He was the closest 3 wide finish in NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series history. Right on lap.
Well, Rick, the laps are clicking away here as the trucks go down pit road. And Tony Burr, I'm just wondering, you decided not to pit that last time. Do you think that strategy is going to work out?
Well, we hope so. We've been running really good all night long. Our Toyota Tundra has really been strong. It's getting good gas mileage. The tire wear is just absolutely no tire wear at all. I think the tire is just a doggone hard to can't wear. So, but anyhow, it's done a good job for us tonight. We're a little bit free right now, but I think everybody out there is a little bit free right now. So if we can just get ourselves in the last right position here with the last 1 or 2 laps to go, I think the Jack can win this race. I think that the best 2 trucks out there are running 1 and 2 right now. That's what it showed all night. Both of them has been to the back and come back to the front. So hopefully one of these 2 trucks will win, and hopefully we'll be the one.
All right, well, we'll be watching. It should be pretty exciting.
Well, thank you.
Let's take another look at what took place here. Again, that's the number 4, Chase Miller, gets into the wall.
And that's not a safer wall right there either, Rick. That's concrete.
He hit hard. And as that accident is happening, really, we've got another amazing shot. Look at the crowd. We've got a shot here just as they're coming into the travel. Watch the crowd stand up here.
Well, almost as one.
In unison, everyone rises to their feet to see what just took place.
Got to have 50, 60,000 people all standing at exactly the same time.
They are a bundled up crowd too, by the way.
It's not a normal Florida evening by any stretch of the imagination. We talked to Kevin Harvick and he said how cold he was. I bet you they're glad there's 50 or 60,000 of them all standing next to each other, generating a little heat. I think we're going to get one to go this time by, guys. Do you?
Most of these guys, fans have hoods on, either hoods or stocking caps or something. They're trying to keep their heads warm. Let's get one to go here.
Let's do it. I'm ready to see this thing finish up.
1 to go is being displayed to the drivers. The pace truck will lose its lights, and we'll go back down to Adam Alexander.
Brendan Gaughan has walked from the infield care center. Brendan, what happened?
Want to make sure Michael talked about me. We were all the way up front. We were just close. Our South Point Chevrolet, I told you guys we were going to be bad to the bone. And we brought a heck of a race truck. Brian Berry did a great job. We had our Chevy near the front all night, just sitting right where we wanted to be in position. Made it through the wreck, and I don't know what happened afterwards. I was through. I was already talking to my spotter going, hey, nice job, Batman, made it through, and all of a sudden Powell got hit. So somebody just come down and get me from behind, but ran up front, did what we wanted to do, and first race for Chevrolet in a long time, and really happy we're going to win a bunch of races this year.
You know, you were strong, but you were on the racetrack with some other strong trucks. Of the guys still out there, what do you think will transpire here in these final laps?
Well, the biggest problem you got is you got the 3 Roush Kateers. They hung me out to dry twice, and our Chevrolet was strong enough to sit on the outside of them and hang tight on the outside with no help. So I was pretty excited. I thought we were going to be good, but when you got 3 Roush trucks teaming up the way they are, I don't think anybody's going to be able to beat them.
Brendan Gaughan. Good news is he's okay.
Well, also out of the infield care center, Chase Miller was checked out and released. And so good news there after a very hard hit and wild ride for Chase Miller. But it's going to be the shootout that we have expected here at Daytona.
Going to have 6 laps to go here. We've got some great trucks running up front. As Tony first said, the fastest 2 trucks it appears tonight, the 6 of Travis Kvapil, the 60 of Jack Sprague, are both up front where they need to be. Adam.
And the good news is Chase Miller also has come from the infield care center. You're okay, but what a wild ride, man.
Oh, it was. I hate it for everybody on the team and for Open Joyce here and Dodge. We had a great run going. I was down low. Life was great, and the rear end started coming around on me. I corrected.
Here it is on the replay, Chase.
Yeah, that's it. I overcorrected, and it come back around in front of everybody, and it went for a ride. And I'm sick. I hate it for everybody in Dodge, and it's just, it's not a good way to start off the year. So.
He's okay, but still shaken up, no doubt about it.
Obviously sick with the outcome, but checked out at the infield care center. He's all right. Here they come to the green flag. It's Travis Kvapil just in front of Jack Sprague. Who will be the winner to start off the 2007 season?
Let's see if Jack Sprague's going to try to make a move before they get up to speed. So far, he's staying right in Travis Kvapil's tires tracks.
Single file line on the restart. Now a couple trucks have moved to the outside. That's Ron Hornaday in the ASE Solutions Chevrolet. Looks like he may have some help behind him.
Remember, he has about 20 lap fresher tires than a lot of these guys. Ooh,
that was Ron Hornaday. It looks like he got a little bit loose, maybe some contact there. Got him to move around a bit. Eric Fike now avoids, goes to the inside.
It's that bump drafting they're trying to do out there. It does not work with these trucks.
That was an aggressive bump draft and about ran Ron off the track.
Now Ted Musgrave tries to get by Ron Hornaday, but in front, they're starting to build up behind, and it looks as though Travis Kvapil has his hands full with Jack Sprague and Eric Darnell just behind him.
Top out irons getting shuffled out to the outside. Johnny Benson got by. Now Mike Skinner's trying to go by. Todd's trying to squeeze Mike Skinner.
Can't do it. Todd shot up the hill, got pushed up the hill by Skinner. Skinner came off the bottom, made the 09 truck of Clanton go up top.
Musgrave goes right through the middle there. There's Matt Craftsman on the inside. The 09 slowing on the outside.
Chad McCumbee behind the 9 of Ted Musgrave. Again, here's your front 5. They're staying at single file line. It's Travis Kvapil, Jack Sprague, Eric Darnell, Todd Bodine, and Johnny Benson.
Ted Musgrave looked like he got a little bit loose. Look at the gap Ron Hornaday has opened up on him. Here comes Matt. That's Aaron Fike, the number 1 on the inside. Matt Craftsman, the 88, pushing him. Looks like they've shuffled Travis Kvapil's teammate, Eric Darnell, out.
Yep, sure enough, Eric Darnell looked like he got moved out and now left out to dry.
Todd was all over the back of the 99 truck, field down in the corner, got him a little bit loose and got on the inside of him. He lost his momentum, and look at all the spots he's lost.
Eric Darnell will try to fight back toward the front. He has a Toyota driven by Ted Musgrave, that Team ASC Toyota Tundra just behind him. Let's see if they can work together to move back toward the front.
He runs up high, a lot of momentum up there, but it's not the place you want to be late in the going. You got to suck around on that bottom.
See Travis Kvapil, he's going to try to drive right around the yellow line all the way around the racetrack.
3 laps of racing to go at Daytona.
Remember last year, Todd Bodine finished 2nd to Mark Martin. He had his teammate Ted Musgrave 3rd. He said, we had a plan. We were going to beat Mark Martin, and the caution came out.
3 wide is not the way to go fast at Daytona. Aaron Fike moving back right now through the middle.
Wow, this late in the going, when they get 3 wide, these guys are desperate.
There's Stacy Compton, the melling forward on the inside, trying to get by Aaron Fike.
Ron Hornaday with a pretty good run, trying to suck up behind the 5 of Mike Skinner.
Now watch Todd. He's going to try to get right on the back of Sprague and move him up the hill a little bit. That's his teammate, so he doesn't want to do anything, or his fellow manufacturer. He doesn't want to do anything crazy. But if he can get a nose under him, I think he'll take advantage of it.
Through the trial again. 2 laps of racing to go.
I'm telling you, it's still anybody's race. Travis Kvapil staying right against the yellow line. They're going to have to pass him on the outside.
And I think what's going to happen is that number 60 Toyota of Jack Sprague is going to go to the outside, and Todd Bodine's going to go with him and push him by Travis Kvapil.
It's a game of chess. Who will go and when will they go?
And it gets tense, more tense and more tense every lap. There's only 1 to go. These guys are going to be all over one another.
Look like a little bump drafting right there. Looks like Jack Sprague pulled up, gave a little tap. Look at the run he's got through the center of the corner.
Don't let him get too far behind you there. Right on the line here.
Ooh, Jack Sprague got a little bit loose off of 4.
He ducked back.
Look at Johnny go to the outside.
Now they go 2 wide as they come across the stripe. 1 lap of racing to go. 2.5 miles from Daytona. Travis Kvapil in front of the pack. Jack Sprague, Todd Bodine side by side now as they go to 1.
Did Johnny Benson push Sprague a little earlier than he wanted to go? Johnny made a move early. Jack jumped out.
Arrow down the back here. Don't let either lane get a run on you.
Here comes the 33 of Ron Hornaday, a very strong truck. They're 2 by 2 behind Kvapil. Can Kvapil hold them off? Now the line on the outside moves faster. Kvapil moves up to block.
Here comes Jack Sprague on the outside.
Back there. Keep splitting your air up.
Into 3 and 4. There's
still give us too much room on the bottom.
Kvapil with an extremely strong truck as he goes through 4. As he comes out of turn number 4, he will see the checkered flag. And Travis Kvapil trying to hold
Here we go. Look at Jack Sprague.
Side by side. Jack Sprague will win at Daytona.
Jack Sprague made the move. Rick Yardy will follow him home.
Unbelievable beautiful finish. It looked as though Travis Kvapil would hold it up, and 3 wide again. Travis Kvapil finished second or third in that finish.
You were already calling Travis to victory lane, like we saw Spencer go to victory lane. We had to butt him out of there.
How about Tony Furr right there? Is that guy happy or not? What a great job by Jack Sprague, Tony Furr, that entire team.
Travis Kvapil back in 2003 made the move on the high side to try to get by Rick Crawford. Crawford held him off for the win. Well, guess what? Travis Kvapil ended up third in this race, 34/1,000th of a second behind our winner, Jack Sprague.
That's crew chief Mike Beam right there for Travis Kvapil. He was within 100 yards of winning this race for the second year in a row.
And he had to feel like it was his. He had a truck or 2 length lead when he came off turn 1. Look at this lead coming to the checker, Phil.
Unbelievable.
A big shove by Johnny Benson. We're riding along actually with the Goodyear blimp. Take a look at that. Across the start-finish line, Sprague, and then the 23 of Johnny Benson split the Ford. Unbelievable.
Did we tell the folks before the race started, you never know what to expect here? We've had 3 wide finishes. I'm telling you, I was like you, Rick. I was trying to think of how to talk about how good Travis Kvapil did this entire race, which he ran a great race. He did such a good job keeping these guys behind him until he had about 100 yards to go.
Well, he did everything he could do. He just got out to it. I know this is going to be the craziest thing you ever heard. He got too big of a lead. He got too big of a lead, which was about 2 truck lengths, and these guys just sucked him right up.
That's the beautiful part of these trucks. You get such a good pull, such a good run. They punch such a big hole in the air. We say it time and time again, but that's what allows us to have finishes like this.
I wonder how they feel about him spinning around on their Daytona 500 sign.
Well, as the Conway team makes their way down to victory lane and Jack Sprague continues to celebrate, the fireworks are in the air. We look at our Fastenal fast finish. It is the fast finish top 5. Sprague, Johnny Benson, Travis Kvapil separated by just 34/1,000ths of a second. Skinner, Bodine round out the top 5. Kvapil looking as though he had victory. Jack Sprague on the outside, Johnny Benson on the inside.
And it all comes down to this for Hauer.
Welcome to the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series post-race. Let's take a look at just how close it was with Jack Sprague nosing the 23 of Johnny Benson and the 6 of Travis Kvapil.
So reminiscent of 2003. Although we had Rick Crawford in 2003 win on the inside, Jack Sprague wins on the outside. JB goes by on the inside to take second by 3/1,000ths of a second.
Ray Dunlap.
Okay, Jack Sprague climbing out of this Conway Toyota, and I'm telling you what, we know there's great racing at Daytona. I don't think I've ever, well, we had one kind of like that a few years ago, but I just cannot believe what we just saw on the racetrack. Jeff Weiler getting in here. The crew mobs him. Confetti cannons going off. Did you have any idea you could win that race?
Well, there was like 6 or 7 of us that could have won it, but man, I get really loose on the bottom with somebody outside me, and hey, baby.
Amy, his fiance, came to her first race today. First race ever. That's a pretty good way to start.
Absolutely.
Tell me about that.
I owe Johnny big. I mean, I know why he did it, because the Talladega I ran behind him and didn't try to do anything, and he said he'd go with me, and I seen him up there on the top, and I had to go. I mean, Travis could have really messed the whole deal up and wrecked the whole field, but he drove really good about it, and I can't believe I won Daytona, brother. I got to thank Conway and Bicycle and D&D and Articat. Let me look. I don't even remember. And Triple Master, Huntington Bank, XM Radio, TRD. Man, I had a great motor.
You've won some great races in your career. Is this the best one?
This is by far the best race I've ever won, and it took a lot of help from all the other Toyota drivers, Todd and Johnny and Mike, and all of them worked really well with me, and it was awesome. I mean, I can't thank Johnny enough. I really can't.
All right, Tony Furr and the guys going to celebrate here with Jack Sprague, career win number 28. Adam?
Well, there's always another side to the story, and for Travis Kvapil, that means no win tonight. You finished third. How disappointing is this given that final circumstance there?
It's real disappointing. I remember a few years back I was a part of a couple of these that ended up the same way, and I tell you what, coming to the white, I thought we were okay. Come off of 2, I knew we were in trouble. I looked in the mirror and I drove away from them, had a pretty good lead, so I was dragging the brake and slowing myself down not to get out on them too far, and in doing that, you know, I lost my own momentum, and you know, I tried to block both lines, and by the time I knew the 23 had, or all I know is 60 must have had a hell of a push, because I thought I had him held off, and he came on like gangbusters. Our F-150 was the best truck out here tonight, so I'm disappointed I let down the guys, but I felt like I did everything I could.
Look at it here on the replay, Travis.
Yeah, that's reminiscent of 2003 right there. Like I said, I feel like I let down these guys. They gave me the best truck out here, and we were proud to have K&N on the side. We put them out front all night, and hopefully that'll grow into something more. But disappointed. We had the truck to win, and I don't feel like I did it for them.
Nearly back-to-back wins for the 6 at Daytona, but it doesn't pan out for Travis Kvapil here tonight.
Well, and Jack Sprague had mentioned he had to thank Johnny Benson. Well, this was before they made it into victory lane. Here's Jack Sprague's crew coming over to Johnny Benson saying thank you. They knew exactly what took place. Johnny Benson pushed Jack Sprague to that victory.
Michael, you talk about it. You have to have friends here. Jack Sprague had a big friend in Johnny Benson.
He shoved him all the way to the wind, and then Johnny ducked to the bottom and grabbed second. You know, you saw him under the line as he come across the start-finish line, under the yellow line, but he made that pass on the racetrack. You can't improve your position by going under the yellow line. He was above the yellow line when he made that pass. He just finished it under the yellow line.
Jack Sprague claiming his 28th victory now, just 1 victory behind the guy who's leading in victories in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, Ron Hornaday.
We have to mention that Joey Clanton recovered from that incident he had earlier and finished 6th in this race in his 2nd time ever at Daytona in a truck.
Not bad at all. And I tell you what, the top 10, 6 of the 7 NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series champions that are running in this series finished in the top 10.
Going to make a great championship battle when those champions finish in the top 10 like that. They're going to be on it all year long, guys.
Unbelievable finish again at Daytona International Speedway for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series on speed. Another great finish as we look on from the Goodyear blimp. Johnny Benson has just given the 60 Conway Freight Toyota Tundra a shove as they cross the start-finish line. 34 1/1000ths of a second separated the top 3. The aerial coverage is brought to you by Goodyear Tires, featuring triple tread technology with 3 separate tread zones for peace of mind in any weather.
You gotta like that, all those Toyotas tying under that Ford. They were all over that guy.
Remember we talked how reminiscent this finish was from 2003. Look at this. There's Rick Crawford on the bottom. That 59 truck of Robert Presley led this race coming off turn 4, just like this year. 3 wide.
That was Travis Kvapil on the outside, and now Travis Kvapil's in the middle. Jack Sprague on the outside, and on the inside is Johnny Benson. And that is very much deja vu.
I bet you Travis Kvapil just felt like that start-finish line wasn't never going to get there. I mean, he could see it. He's like, come on, get me there, get me there.
He thought it was like Talladega, where it's all the way down towards turn number 1.
Jack Sprague, probably one of the most decorated NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series drivers. 3 championships in this series. Said that is probably the most amazing win I've had in my career, winning at Daytona.
How do we keep doing it? I mean, it's crazy the way these races wind up here at Daytona. This is a great track for the trucks.
We can all hope that the car of tomorrow will produce races like this next year at Daytona.
Ooh, I don't know if I can handle that or not.
You'll be able to do it. Our next race is California. We have qualifying at 7 p.m. Eastern, followed by the race. So make sure to tune in. Friday night, under the lights, it continues. The 2007 season has started for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, and our first winner, Jack Sprague, claims victory at Daytona.
I think we got to do something.